The sky over the city of Warsaw is gray and cold. It is a very long time ago. In a small house, a young girl named Maria sits by the window. We know her today as Marie Curie, but back then she is just little Maria. She watches the snow fall slowly from the clouds. The snow is white and soft like sugar. It covers the old stone streets and the dark wooden doors of the houses. Maria feels the cold glass of the window against her nose. She listens to the wind. The wind makes a soft whistling sound as it moves through the trees. Inside the house, it is quiet and warm. There is a smell of old books and wood smoke from the fireplace. Maria loves this smell. To her, books are the most important things in the world. They are filled with secrets and stories about the stars, the earth, and the tiny things we cannot see. Maria lives with her father and her sisters. Her father is a teacher. He is a tall man with kind eyes and very clever hands. He teaches physics and mathematics. Physics is the study of how things move and why the world works. Mathematics is the study of numbers. In their house, there are many glass tubes and heavy books. Maria looks at these things with wonder. She does not play with dolls like other children. She likes to touch the smooth glass of the science tools. She likes to count the numbers in her head. Her father sees her curiosity. He smiles and tells her that the world is a big puzzle. He says that science is the key to solving that puzzle. Maria wants that key. She wants to understand everything. She wants to know why the sun shines and how the birds fly. But life is not easy for Maria and her family. At this time, Poland is under the control of another country. The people in charge do not want the Polish people to learn too much. They have many strict rules. At school, Maria must be very careful. She is a very bright student, perhaps the brightest in the whole class. She remembers every word the teacher says. She can solve difficult math problems in a few seconds. However, when the inspectors come to the school, the children must hide their Polish books. An inspector is a person who checks if everyone is following the rules. Maria feels her heart beat fast when the inspector enters the room. She feels a little bit afraid, but she stays very still. She speaks clearly and answers every question in a perfect way. She is brave even when she is young. Maria grows older, and her love for learning grows too. She finishes school with a gold medal because she is the best student. She wants to go to a university. A university is a place where you go to study after you finish school. But there is a big problem. In her city, women are not allowed to go to the university. The leaders think that only men should study science. This makes Maria feel very sad and very angry. She knows she is smart. She knows she can work hard. She sits in the park and looks at the tall trees. She thinks about her dreams. She realizes that if she wants to study, she must leave her home. She must go to a different country. She must go to France, but France is far away, and Maria has no money. Maria and her sister Bronya make a plan. It is a plan built on love and patience. Patience is when you can wait for a long time without getting angry. Maria tells Bronya that Bronya should go to Paris first to study medicine. Medicine is the study of how to make sick people healthy. Maria says she will stay in Poland and work as a governess. A governess is a person who lives in a house and teaches the children of a rich family. Maria will save every coin she earns. She will send the money to Bronya in Paris. Then when Bronya finishes her studies and becomes a doctor, she will help Maria. It is a long plan. It will take many years. Maria is young, but she is ready to wait. She is ready to work for her dream. For many years, Maria works in a big house in the countryside. The house is far from the city and far from her father. The winter there is very long and very dark. Every morning, Maria wakes up early. The air in her room is icy. She lights a small candle and begins to read. She reads about chemistry. Chemistry is the study of what things are made of, like water or salt. She teaches the children in the house during the day. She is kind and patient with them. But in the evenings, when the house is quiet, she returns to her books. She feels lonely sometimes. She misses the sound of her father's voice. She misses the busy streets of Warsaw. She looks out at the empty fields covered in white snow. She feels like a small bird waiting for the spring. Maria does not give up. She saves her money in a small wooden box. She counts the coins every week. She sends the money to her sister in Paris. She writes letters to her family. Her letters are full of hope. She tells them that she is learning new things every day. She studies math by herself. She does experiments with simple things she finds in the kitchen. She is a scientist in her heart, even if she does not have a real laboratory yet. A laboratory is a special room where scientists do their work. She dreams of a room with many glass bottles and big tables. She dreams of wearing a white coat and discovering something new. She knows that one day she will get on a train and leave the snow behind. Finally, the day arrives. Her sister Bronya writes a letter from Paris. Bronya says that she is now a doctor. She says it is time for Maria to come. Maria is now 24 years old. She is no longer a little girl. She packs her small bag. She has a few clothes and her favorite books. She goes to the train station. The station is a busy place with a lot of noise and black smoke. People are shouting and carrying heavy boxes. Maria finds her seat on the train. The seats are hard, and the journey is very long. The train moves through many countries. It goes through forests and over cold rivers. Maria looks out the window for 3 days. She does not feel tired. She feels excited. She is going to the Sorbonne. The Sorbonne is a famous university in Paris. When Maria arrives in Paris, the city feels like a different world. There are bright lights and many people walking fast. Everyone speaks French. Maria speaks French too, but she feels a little shy. She changes her name from Maria to Marie. She wants to sound like the people in her new home. She finds a tiny room at the top of a tall building. The room is very small and very cold. It has only a bed, a chair, and a table. There is no heater to keep her warm in the winter. Sometimes the water in her glass turns to ice during the night. She does not have much food. She often eats only bread and tea. Sometimes she is so hungry that she feels weak. But when she walks into the university, she forgets her hunger. The university is beautiful. It has big rooms with high ceilings. Marie sits in the front row of the classroom. She listens to the professors. A professor is a very high-level teacher at a university. She writes down every word they say. She spends all her time in the library. She reads until her eyes are tired. She is the only woman in many of her classes. The men look at her with surprise. They think a woman cannot understand difficult science. Marie does not care what they think. She works harder than anyone else. She wants to prove that she belongs there. She wants to show the world that her mind is strong. She is starting a journey that will change the world forever. Marie Curie, a brave scientist. Part 2. Marie studies very hard at the university in Paris. She finishes her studies in physics and mathematics. She is one of the best students in the whole school. Now she needs a place to do her work. She wants to study different types of steel. Steel is a very strong metal used to build bridges and buildings. She needs a laboratory to test the metal. A friend tells her about a man named Pierre Curie. Pierre is a scientist too. He is very smart and very quiet. He has a small laboratory at his school. When Marie meets Pierre, they begin to talk about science. They talk for many hours. Pierre sees that Marie is not like other people. She is serious, and she loves discovery. They become very good friends, and soon they fall in love. Marie and Pierre get married in a simple way. They do not want a big party or expensive clothes. Instead, they buy 2 bicycles. They spend their honeymoon riding their bicycles through the beautiful countryside of France. They look at the green trees and feel the warm wind on their faces. They are very happy because they share the same dreams. When they return to Paris, they begin to work together. They work in a small old shed. A shed is a simple building made of wood or metal. It is not a fancy laboratory. It is cold in the winter and very hot in the summer. The roof leaks when it rains. But Marie and Pierre do not mind the rain. They have their books, their tools, and each other. Marie becomes interested in a new mystery. Another scientist found that a metal called uranium gives off strange rays. Rays are like invisible lines of energy. Marie wants to know why this happens. She starts to test many different rocks and minerals. Minerals are natural things found in the earth. She finds a special rock called pitch blende. She notices something amazing. The pitch blende is much more active than pure uranium. She thinks there must be a new secret element inside the rock. An element is a basic part of everything in the world, like gold or oxygen. Marie decides to find this secret element. It is a very difficult task because the secret element is hidden in a huge pile of rock. To find the new element, Marie and Pierre must cook the rocks. They have big pots filled with crushed stone and boiling water. Marie stirs the heavy pots with a large iron rod. The work is very hard for her body. Her arms ache, and her hands become sore. The smoke from the pots fills the shed, but Marie does not stop. She works for 4 long years. She processes tons of rock to find just a tiny bit of the new element. One night, they go into the dark shed. They see something beautiful. In the glass jars, a faint blue light is glowing. It looks like magic. They have discovered 2 new elements. Marie names one polonium after her home country, Poland. She names the other one radium. The discovery of radium makes Marie and Pierre famous. Radium is very powerful. It gives off a lot of heat and light. Scientists around the world are excited. In the year 1903, Marie wins the Nobel Prize in Physics. The Nobel Prize is the most important award for a scientist in the world. Marie is the first woman ever to win this prize. People are surprised. They see that a woman can be a great scientist, but Marie does not care about the fame. She does not want to be a celebrity. She wants to keep working. She and Pierre use the prize money to help their laboratory. They continue to study how radium can help people, especially people with a sickness called cancer. However, a very sad thing happens. One rainy day, Pierre is walking across a busy street in Paris. It is dark, and the ground is slippery. A heavy carriage pulled by horses hits him. Pierre dies instantly. When Marie hears the news, her heart breaks. She loses her best friend and her partner. She sits in her quiet house and feels very alone. But even in her sadness, Marie is brave. She knows she must continue their work. The university asks her to take Pierre's place as a teacher. She becomes the first female professor at the Sorbonne. On her first day, the room is full of people. They want to see the brave woman. She walks to the front and begins the lesson exactly where Pierre stopped. Marie continues her research for many years. She wins a second Nobel Prize in 1911. This time the prize is in chemistry. She is the first person in history to win 2 Nobel Prizes. She is now famous all over the world, but she remains a simple person. She still wears her plain, dark dresses. She still spends most of her time in the laboratory. She wants to find more ways to use science to help humanity. Humanity means all the people in the world. She believes that science should be used for good. She does not want to make money from her discoveries. She gives her secrets away for free so that other doctors and scientists can help sick people. When a big war starts in Europe, Marie finds a new way to help. She sees that many soldiers are getting hurt on the battlefield. The doctors cannot see the broken bones inside their bodies. Marie knows that X-rays can help. An X-ray is a special picture that shows the bones inside a person. Marie creates mobile X-ray units. These are small trucks with X-ray machines inside them. She calls them little Curies. She learns how to drive a car and goes to the front lines of the war. She shows the doctors how to use the machines. She saves many lives because the doctors can now see where the injuries are. She is not afraid of the noise of the war. She only wants to help. After the war, Marie returns to her laboratory in Paris. She travels to America to meet the president. People give her money to buy more radium for her research. She is older now, and her body is tired. Working with radium for so many years has made her sick. Back then, scientists did not know that being near radium for a long time is dangerous. Marie's hands are covered in small burns, and she feels weak. But she never complains. She is happy because she spent her life searching for the truth. She dies in 1934, but her story does not end there. She is buried in a beautiful building in Paris called the Pantheon. This is a place for the greatest heroes of France. Marie Curie showed the world that a girl with a dream can change history. She started as a young girl in Poland with no money and no laboratory. She faced many walls, but she climbed over every one of them. She proved that women are just as smart and brave as men. Today, we remember her every time a doctor uses an X-ray or a scientist discovers a new element. She taught us that curiosity and hard work are the most powerful things in the world. Her life was like the radium she discovered. It was bright, it was powerful, and it gave light to a dark world. Marie Curie remains an inspiration to every student who looks at the stars and asks why.